So you've got it. That brilliant idea, right? The passion, the drive to build something of your own. But then you run into the paperwork, the numbers, all that legal stuff, and it can just feel so overwhelming. Well, that's exactly what we're going to demystify today.
Okay, let's just dive right in. Think of this as your startup blueprint. First, we're going to cover making it official with licensing. Then we'll talk about setting the right price, so you actually make a profit. After that, we'll get into protecting your business. And finally, the really exciting part, growing your team. This is your roadmap.
All right, first up, making it official. Licensing might feel like a bunch of red tape, but honestly, it's the bedrock. It's the solid legal foundation for everything you're about to build. So you're all fired up and ready to go. But wait, have you thought about this first big hurdle? Your business permit, or in Israel, a rishui esek. This is pretty much the very first official step you're going to take with your local government. I know it sounds intimidating, but the whole process really just breaks down into 3 simple steps. First, you've got to identify the exact license you need. This is super important if you're dealing with food, retail, or any place the public will be. Second, you submit your application. And third, well, you wait for that approval. Now, if there is one piece of advice I can give you, it's this. Start this process as early as you possibly can. Seriously, licensing can take way longer than you think, often because it needs sign-off from a bunch of different departments. You don't want this to be the one thing holding up your grand opening. All right, so you've got the legal foundation in place. Let's talk money. Section 2 is all about setting the right price. This is where we shift from just covering our costs to actually building a business that makes a profit. Before you can even think about profit, you need to know your break-even point. It's that magic number, right? The moment where your costs and your revenue are perfectly equal. You're not losing money, but you're not making any either. Think of it as the starting line in the race to profitability. So how do you find that point? It really just starts with knowing your costs. You have your fixed costs, things that stay the same every month, like rent. And then you have your variable costs that change, like materials. In this example, you add them up. And there it is. You know you need to bring in 7,500 shekels just to cover your bases. Now here's a little detail that can make a huge difference to your costs. Who you buy your stuff from. Let's compare VAT-registered suppliers with non-VAT ones. At a quick glance, the non-VAT supplier looks cheaper, right? But with a VAT supplier, you can often claim that tax back, which means your actual cost of doing business is lower. It's a really important strategic choice to make. Okay, so you're licensed. You've got your prices sorted. Now let's protect everything you've built. In this section, we're talking about how to protect your business. Think of it like installing a top-notch security system for all your hard work. Every single time you work with a client, a contract is your absolute best friend. And there are a few things that are total must-haves. A super clear scope of work, so everybody knows what's what, detailed payment terms, and limitations on your liability. That last one just clarifies what you are and aren't responsible for if things go south. It's all about clarity from day one. I just love this way of looking at it. It totally reframes the whole idea of a contract, doesn't it? It's not about gearing up for a fight. It's about having a clear, written conversation up front so you can avoid misunderstandings later. It's a trust builder. But what happens when a conversation just isn't enough? Well, look at this. In a dispute, if you have business insurance, your legal costs are covered and your business assets are safe. Without it, you're paying for every single legal fee out of your own pocket. And even your personal stuff could be at risk. That peace of mind from insurance is priceless. And for our last section, we're looking ahead to a super exciting moment for any business owner, that jump from being a founder to being an employer. Let's talk about growing your team. I mean, this is a huge deal. It's a real sign of success and growth. It's a question every founder dreams of asking themselves. So, are you ready? Let's take a quick look at what that really means. The second you hire someone, you take on a whole new set of legal responsibilities. Under Israeli labor law, the basics are totally non-negotiable. You have to pay at least minimum wage, provide all the required social benefits, stick to the regulations on work hours, and of course, make sure the work environment is safe. But there's something here that goes way beyond the legal stuff. Your very first hire, they're not just filling a role. They are a foundational piece of your company's entire identity. They're going to help define the culture for everyone who comes after them. So you got to choose wisely. So there you have it. Licensing, pricing, protection, and hiring.
We've just walked through the blueprint to turn that idea of yours into a real operational business. You've got the plan. The only question left is, what are you going to build first?